Good morning, Dr. Okibo. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, I know it's very early for you there now, but thank you for keeping awake just to talk to us. Now, you have been following events here in Nigeria, and you are aware of the directive that all Nigerians must have a national identity number, which has to be linked to your SIM card, or you stand a chance to be disconnected by your network provider. What is your take on this?
Well, thank you, Chimeze. First of all, it's a welcome development, because in this kind of program helps to accomplish a lot of things for any country. Having national identification number and national ID, what we call the multi-purpose card. For security reasons and for many other reasons that I won't just get into right now. Well, the only challenge is the question of whether the goal, the aim, is being accomplished and within the limited time frame that is being provided, as well as the knowledge dissemination within the diaspora.
Abroad have been asked to visit the website of the NIMC to enable them register for the national identity number. And the details of the agents who are accredited to register them for NIN can be found on the website. Are you aware of this, and what has been your experience?
Yeah, I'm aware of it, but I must say we have to remember one thing. If you are a citizen of a country living outside of the shores of your home nation, your point of contact between you and your home country is the missions, the foreign missions, the embassies and the consulates. Right now, if you go to the websites of the embassies and the consulates that we have, for instance, here in the United States, we have one embassy in the Washington, D.C., a consulate in New York, and another in Atlanta. None of those websites have this information. So the commission is based in Nigeria. There doesn't seem to be a coordination between the commission and the Nigerian foreign mission. So to announce in Nigeria back home that people in the diaspora, this is what you're supposed to do. How do you reach the people in the diaspora? Nobody gets that information. The easiest access, the easiest place for us to get the information is through the Nigerian foreign missions here in the diaspora, not from the offices back home. So it's posing a little bit of a challenge. I bet you not many people are even aware of that announcement.
Okay, for you, that you are aware, have you even tried to visit that website to see how it works and to see the possibility of probably getting your NIN from there?
Yes, I have. And as a matter of fact, the interesting thing is there's a little bit of a confusion. If you go to the Commission's website, you'll find links that don't necessarily correspond to the more exhaustive link that you have from the Commission that you have in the Diaspora Commission. Has a lot more links than the National Identification Number, office or commission back home. However, in all of them, there are a total of about 23 or 24 organizations or agencies or agents working on behalf of the NINs, and they are established in Chicago, several of them in Atlanta, operating in New York, Washington, D.C., Houston, and Dallas. But the problem is, a lot of them are not active. Right now, from the Diaspora Commission's website, there is only probably one, the knowledge base, that is still operational. But even then, when you click on those, the steps, the guidelines, the step-by-step, about 16-step measure that you have to take to complete the process, it's not that way. It's not working that way through the website of some of these organizations, these agencies. The implication is even if you were here and you want to follow that process, it's still confusing. It's not straightforward.
Okay, based on what you've seen on the website, how much on the average will it cost a Nigerian citizen like you living in the United States to obtain the NIN?
Most of them will say $50. That's what it costs for the diaspora. Okay. But if you do the premium, which means when the agency have to carry their work facility to come closer to you, that means out of sight operation, then that's $70. But then if you have to do it yourself, remember, official fee is $50. But then think about it. I live in Denver. If I have to fly to Washington, D.C., book appointment, I have to check into a hotel, just like getting your passport. There are a lot of Nigerians living in the United States. For them to get this process completed, you're looking at an average of $500 to $1,000 to complete the process, in addition to the official fee.
So are there better ways you think the Nigerian government can actually go about this? What is bothering me is, why do we have to replicate and reinvent the process? We already have the embassies that are issuing passports and the consulates, the missions that are issuing passports. We do biometrics capturing in these places to obtain your passport. Why do we have to go through these private organizations? Their websites, some of them, their websites are not even well set up. I would have expected the government to place this under the foreign mission so they can handle it. They are already trained. They already have the trained personnel who know how to handle biometrics, who know how to process passports and documents of this nature. It just doesn't make sense that we have so many listed. There are more than 25 companies that are operating, and it's very confusing. And none of the steps on each and every one of them, when you go on their website, is not consistent, even with the guidelines that have been set up by the commission.
Well, as it looks now, we seem to be doing a lot of registrations in the country. We've had the SIM card registration, BVN, etc. How can these be aligned?
How it can be aligned is up to those who understand the digital economy and the digital sector. I'm not an expert on that. Yeah. But what I think is that there's so much reinvention of things. And I know that national ID number and national ID card is a totally different thing compared to BVN. But why can't we use the facilities we have already? That's the most important question, because right now there's too much reinvention of the infrastructure, and is making it much more difficult, not only for people here, but I was watching a moment ago, as you are reporting, what is happening there in Nigeria. That's part of the reason why there's so much confusion.
Now, how do you people in diaspora, I'm sure you have a kind of an association or something, how do you interface with the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission? What's the interface like? That's a very interesting question. Remember, Chimezie, that the first time Nigeria set up an office for diaspora relationship was in 2003 under President Olusegun Obasanjo. And then there was a parliamentary committee that was set up in the National Assembly. By creating this Diaspora Commission, again, it's just, like what I'm talking about, reinventing the wheel. Why not revamp the organizations, the structure that we have already in place? The problem now is that Diaspora is, has good words and good language. Last year, they did the investment summit. The problem is there are many cultural organizations of Nigerian cultural organizations that exist here in the United States. And a lot of these cultural organizations are not even aware about what is going on,
We have academic organizations like the African Studies, the Nigerian Studies Association, and nobody is making effort to communicate with us. Part of the reason is because the channel that we've always maintained, for instance, as a person who is in the academy, I'm much more inclined to reach out to the embassy and the missions. For instance, when I have to do security analysis, I don't have anything to do with this Diaspora Commission. They don't even know what I do. The only people I interact will be with the military attaché at the embassies and the consulates, the economic affairs, and including when I have to prepare reports, either for institutional purposes or on behalf of the Nigerian government, for the US government, or for reporting back to the Nigerian government. I don't have anything to do with the Diaspora Commission. They don't know what I do. So there is a disconnect right now between the Diaspora Commission and the foreign missions established here. And that has serious implication in terms of coordinating and synergizing the work that we do.
Now, a quick one before I let you go. Is there something for you think the Nigerian government needs to change? I mean, some of the challenges Nigerian in diaspora, aside from the challenge of this NIN now, that you think it's critical for the government to really address?
Honestly, the way other countries do it, like the United States, UK, and European countries, is that when they want to interface with the diaspora, they use their embassies. So I think the best thing the Nigerian government can do is to reharmonize already the structures that are in place, including the ones that started since 2003, and then establish an Office of Diaspora Relationship. We already have Office of Citizenship at the embassy and the consulates. So if you want to create a subsidiary office that is more invested towards other diaspora interests, that's the best way to do it. Right now, Dabiri may be doing a good job, but she's operating from Nigeria. You can't do a strong kick from afar. That's not effective.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Okibo, for sharing your thoughts there. And once again, we appreciate your time, keeping awake to talk to us. So you can go back to sleep now and be safe and be well.
Thank you very much, Chimazie and Co. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.